Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. This is not blue.
It's still a water bottle.
It is, but here. You're not finished. You're not finished. Go pour that water out and bring me some ice water.
What kind of ice?
Regular ice. I don't want the, what you call it? I don't want the crumbly ice. Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until probably about 5 o'clock. I had to put her to work. I forgot to bring my water down. And she brought me the wrong one, so I had to send her back. We'll see how this works out. But I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. Let's get to it. Jerica says, "Hola, mi familia." Jerica was first. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. Good afternoon, Jerica. Thank you for checking out the show. Robert Willis in the house. Good afternoon, Robert Willis. Thank you for checking out the show. And then Erica Hummins rounds out the top three. She's representing Reading. Good afternoon, Erica Hummins. Thank you for checking out the show. We got Sea Breeze in the house. It's a happy Friday. 12 days until something happens. Something is gonna happen. Those are the best predictions in the world. I'm gonna start making predictions. I'm not a prediction maker. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a prediction maker. I'm just, a guy. I see stuff, I kind of comment on it. But there are people who make predictions. And some people make like specific predictions, and then a lot of times they be wrong or they be partially right, all that kind of stuff. But when you make a prediction, like something is gonna happen on this date, it's hard to be wrong. So we'll see what happens, but something is gonna happen. Sea Breeze representing Boston. Thank you for checking in. And rounding out the top five, Bonita Gaines representing Roselawn. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all y'all. I just kind of really shout out the top five. There is hardly any ice in there.
There is.
There's not. There's that much ice. I want it to be like that much ice. So pour this out. Fill the ice up about halfway, and then put the rest all water.
Why do you need so many ice?
Don't shortchange me on the ice. I appreciate all of y'all. She tried to shortchange me on the ice. I can't have that. Let me see. Dwayne Larkin in the house representing Mount Airy. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Cedric B. Robinson. Good afternoon. Thank you, sir, for checking out the show. We got Pat Rogers in the house. Good afternoon, Pat. Good afternoon. Thanks for checking out the show. Lewis representing Sharonville. Good afternoon. Drea representing Sycamore Township. Good afternoon to you as well, Drea. We got Tria, classy as always. Good afternoon, King and crew. She's representing Columbia Township. Good afternoon. Maria representing North College Hill. Good afternoon. I might have just said that. Something happened that confused me. Thank you for checking out the show. Regina Denson Griffin representing Madisonville in the house. We got Brent Beard. He's representing Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right. Good afternoon. Dina says, I like the whole music. All right. You can't beat that. Thanks for checking out the show. Pamela Kinney representing North Avondale. All right. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's what she said. That is what she said. I told her specifically to get the blue one, and she didn't. Tanika in the house representing beautiful Orlando, Florida. Good afternoon. We got Daryl Carpenter in the house. Daryl, thank you for checking out the show. Nate shows up and says, I'm first. Not even close. Not even close. You may be first on that platform, but definitely not first. Brent Beard, if the Afternoon Experiment merch website is not up in the month of October, we will go to a state track meet instead of joining the protest. It'll be up. T. Mikey G, representing North Avondale. Thank you for checking out the show. Thank you. We got.
I put lots of eyes.
It is still not. Oh, come here. Come here.
I put it all the way to 12.
Okay. I'll live with it. I'll live with it. Thank you. Thank you. I told her the ice should be halfway. And then she puts it.
I put it all the way to 12.
Okay. If you say so. Hold on. Where is 12? I can't see. You did not put it at 12. You did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. All right. Where was I? T. Mikey G. Good afternoon. Brenda Early representing Fairfield. Good afternoon. Daryl says, why y'all doing the Armageddon countdown? Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, except that Prophet said something is going to happen. Al Johnson representing Middletown. Good afternoon. Dominique Finley representing Walnut Hills. Good afternoon, Dominique. Thanks for checking out the show. Diane Huddleston Angel representing Gulf Manor. Good afternoon. Let me see. Oh, let's see. We got Carolyn Smith. Good afternoon, Carolyn. Good afternoon, Your Honor, and Facebook fam. That's Dina representing Walnut Hills. Good afternoon. Am I paying Little Baby for her services? Yes, I am. I'm paying her in grandfatherly love. Scott representing West Walnut Hills. Good afternoon. Leave the little baby alone. She just need to, Brent said that's that old man eyesight having to hold the bottle back to read the 12 ounces. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is ice straight out of the ice maker in the refrigerator, which I didn't have an ice maker in the refrigerator for years and years and years. I was still buying bags of ice and using ice trays. And Mrs. Livingston upgraded me because she was not going to live in a house without an ice maker in the refrigerator. And when she did, it was the best thing ever. It was the best thing ever. LaDonna representing East Price Hill. Good afternoon. We got Jason in the house representing Fairfield. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Twin says, nice shirt. I look fine today. Oh, please don't. This is not my design, even though I did print the shirt. It's the church that I go to, and this is the Heritage logo. They gave me the logo and said, can you print some shirts? And I printed some shirts, but these ain't they colors. Not because this is actually red, black, and green, which is why you can see through the green because, I use green screen. But this is red, black, and green. And come either it was Black History Month. I think it was for Black History Month. I did what I called the Heritage logo. I messed with the colors of the logo. I think the colors of the logo are blue, purple, and orange. It's a nice looking logo. But, I had to do the Heritage logo, as I call it. So I wear this kind of in honor of Juneteenth. But it'd be kind of hot Juneteenth, so I had to make a t-shirt for that. And Black History Month, I wear the Heritage logo. So, yeah, I designed it. I printed it. I changed the color on it. Thank you. I don't know how comfortable I am with you calling me gorgeous and complimenting me on my shirt and telling me I look fine. Because I heard you the other day talking to Wyatt, talking about how some of them men have really handsome feet. And I don't know how I feel about that with you, twin. I don't know. I think I prefer our combative thing to you telling me I'm fine. Let's just be combative. If those are my options, I'm a goofy and a neutron and a bitch nigga, and as opposed to I'm fine, I'm gorgeous, and I got handsome feet. I'll take goofy bitch nigga over the other one, okay? But thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you. Jason say that water warm as hell. Pamela, I just saw a CPO report. Cincinnati Public Schools scored 2.5 out of 5 stars overall on the state report card. Well, what do you expect? We'll talk about it in a minute. But thank you for checking out the show, Pamela. Color Me Bert, representing West Side. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's see. Grandfatherly love don't pay for toys and candy. She get plenty of candy. She get too much candy. Her mama complains about her eating too much candy over here. Does anyone know if the Springfield mayor is a Democrat or a Republican? He's on MSNBC now. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. A white woman in a wheelchair spit on me today. Oh, that's unfortunate. Did you slap her? I'm not suggesting that you should have, but I'm asking if you did. Because I think that would be somebody spit on me. What you doing? You know. So, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, let's see. Pamela says North Avondale. I didn't realize we were neighbors. Okay. You didn't realize who neighbors? John Davidson, a.k.a. Blake, says Black Power. Word. Dominique Finley is laughing about something. Let me see. Wait. Twin said a man has handsome feet. Yes, he did. He did. He was talking about Shannon Sharp. Talking about how he, telling the man he had handsome feet. Whatever. Let's see. Shirley Ellis Howe, representing Westchester. Good afternoon. All right. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. Look. Let me see. Who was that? I don't remember. Somebody said something about CPS 2.5, their report card. What do you expect? I mean, just to be completely, it was Pamela Kinney. To be completely honest, when you really think about this stuff, I don't want to sound like what they call it, a mockingbird, or as we used to say as kids, a mockingbird. I don't want to sound like a mockingbird, but man, this stuff what do you expect from CPS? CPS is working with whatever it is that they are working with, right? So I'm not doing thumbs up. That wasn't thumbs up. They're working with whatever it is that they're working with. If you send your child to school unprepared, if you send your child to school undisciplined, if you send your child to school, and they can't read or they're facing heavy distractions, it's going to be difficult for the teachers to deal with that. So we like to blame CPS, and I'm sure they get some of the responsibility. Any organization or whatever, there's something that they could do better, sure. But I don't think it's fair to expect I'm going to call them like large urban school districts with a high population of people who are poor to achieve the way that I guess people expect them to achieve. I don't know that that's fair to even expect it. If you in there, you know what I'm saying? You get in there and you help. You can send your child to CPS. And your child can come out of CPS, even a failing CPS school, with a great education. If you are a parent who's involved, who pays attention, you help with homework, you communicate with the teachers and the administration and, all that kind of stuff. If you are very involved, you can send your child even to a failing school and your child can get a good education. But if you're not, then, you get what you get. You get what you get. And I don't know what people expect. I really don't. But that's that. Also what, the 13-year-old, I forget who it was that brought that up. I know Key mentioned it yesterday. Somebody else had brought it up as well. And man, look. I say there ain't no answer. Maybe that's me being negative. On the positive, let me be positive about it, okay? There's an answer to all of this violence, all the shooting and all that kind of stuff. There is an answer. And really the answer is really simple. I have the answer. I have the answer. Everybody, stop being violent. Don't shoot nobody. Don't be disrespectful to people. Don't be rude. You can have a gun, but don't use it. Parents, be there for your children. Teach them the right stuff. And you do the right stuff all the time. And if everybody does everything right all the time, we really shouldn't have situations like this. There you go. Solved it. Now, okay, what are the chances of that happening? There's no chance that that's going to happen. It's me being negative again, I guess. It's me being negative. But, I mean, it's the truth. Like, it's the people like me and others can say all this stuff that we want to say. We see it. You see or hear about a 9-year-old or a 13-year-old getting shot. And you're like, oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. But it's the society that we live in. It's the society that we live in. It ain't just black people. It ain't just poor people. But it's the society that we live in. We live in a violent society. We live in a very disrespectful society. I don't know what else to say. I don't have answers for none of this stuff. Jerica says, did you all hear about the young black man found hanging from a tree in North Carolina? I did not hear about that. No. Oh, no, let's look it up. Because y'all know I have a computer here. Well, I'm looking at this, and apparently the sheriff says it's not a lynching. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can pull this up. Y'all know everything I go through trying to pull stuff up. But I'm going to try to pull it up. Hold on. Let's go there. Properties. Cancel that. Sorry, y'all. I hadn't heard the story. I got to look it up. Okay. Paste. Yes. again, y'all know I can't do this stuff without I can't talk and type at
I've
the
been
same
using
time.
this product called Muesli, and I've been
No, I
telling
don't wanna
everybody
learn
about
more.
it
How do I
because it's been
stop that?
life-changing to me.
Stop. Close that. Mute that. Let me see. Let's add one of one.
.com/TV.
County Sheriff and the SBI are investigating after a man was found dead with a rope around media.
Okay, so here's what we know right now. 21-year-old Javion McGee was a truck driver from the Chicago area who was found in a rural area off Van Gogh Mill Road, not far from his truck. The sheriff says he was found with his back against a tree with a rope around his neck. The incident raising concerns from his family back in Chicago, who are now on their way here to North Carolina. The sheriff says he did not see any signs of foul play, but also would not call this a suicide. He now says the SBI is part of the investigation. The sheriff's message for those with questions today: be patient. Don't jump to conclusions.
I understand there's over 1,000 hits on TikTok. The sheriff's office not being transparent, not providing information to the family, and that is not true. There's been information put out there that there's a lynching in Vance County. There is not a lynching in Vance County. The young man was not dangling from a tree. He was not swinging from a tree. The rope was wrapped around his neck. It was not a noose. It was not a knot in the rope. So therefore, it was not a lynching here in Vance County.
Okay, so the sheriff says this was not a lynching. He goes on to say McGee did not appear to be disfigured. The medical examiner's office now conducting an autopsy. That's going to happen today.
Meantime, the FDA.
All right, so there you go. That's the story.
Let's talk about the forecast. The rain
no, stop.
continues,
Why are you
but if
doing
you
that?
love donuts, of course, nothing's stopping you from getting the crispy This until
Y'all may not be
12:30,
able to
so
hear
this
this,
one will
but I can hear
expire
this thing
in the
going,
next 12
and I
minutes
don't know
or
how to
so. We
make
have
it
Wake
stop.
County's flood advisory until 2:15
Hold
today,
on.
and then added Durham County until 2:45 this afternoon.
Why
That's
is
because
this
some of
still
these
playing?
locations have picked up between 1/2 and 1.5 to 2 inches of rainfall so far, an additional 1 to 2 inches possible through this time frame. So today is going to be a messy, soggy day for
I'm
us
gonna
at
have to get
times.
better
Highs
at
upper
this, y'all.
70s,
I
breezy and
apologize.
cloudy through the afternoon. The weekend doesn't look too bad, actually. I have the rain chance down to 30% with some passing showers, but we will see some
Interact.
sunshine at times.
Stop. Thank you. Oh, she was going too. Okay. So that's the story. And according to the sheriff, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. It's not funny. But when you hear some of the stuff that you hear, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a dead black man with a rope wrapped around his neck. Nothing to see here. I don't know. Nothing to see here. I mean, he said it like, I'm sure he didn't mean it this way, but he said it like, look, if he would have been dangling from a tree, that would be a big deal. If the rope was an actual noose, that would be a big deal. But since he was just dead with a rope around his neck, not that big of a deal. Interesting. Purple Pro says the FBI is involved. That's a big deal because they don't normally get involved. I hadn't heard about the story. That's the first I heard about it. Thank you, Jerica, for mentioning it. If there's information that it was a lynching. This is not a lynching. The young man was not dangling from a tree. He was not swinging from a tree. The rope was wrapped around his neck. It was not a noose. There was not a knot in the rope. So therefore, it's not a lynching. Daryl says a truck driver from Chicago just happened to stop in North Carolina and here, let me pull over and play with this rope around my neck at the tree over there since I got some free time. Yeah. I'm sure that happens. That's what truckers do. They carry rope and, play the strangle game against a tree in another state. Everybody knows that's what truckers do, right? Like, it sounds a little fishy, at least. And they say it's not a, hold on, reread and retype this, sir. I'm not sure. Maybe she's talking about somebody else. They say it's not a suicide. So if it's not a suicide, I don't know. Sounds a little funny. Ron maybe suspects a trucker hooked up with the wrong chick and got strangled and robbed. I don't have the details. I don't know what happened. It's not the FBI that's involved. Not the F as in federal. It's the SBI that's involved, which is their State Bureau of Investigation. I got the actual text of the story up now. And so it's not the FBI, it's the SBI that's involved. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. DeAndre says these. Oh, in case y'all look, it's been a long day. Of course, run out, grabbed a little baby, come in. I haven't had an opportunity to do any show prep as usual. And it's Friday. It's open. Whatever you want to talk about, you know what I'm saying. You throw it up in the chat. If it's something newsworthy, I'll look it up, and if I can figure out the technology to get it up on the screen, and we'll look at it, and we'll talk about it. Twin.
What's up, E-Man?
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right for a minute, I think.
You say you what?
So I'm all right for a minute, I think.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sure you all right?
No, I just got word my baby mama brother, his girl got found dead down here. She had texted me and stuff.
Wait,
Crazy.
Say that again?
Say my baby mama, her brother, and his girl got found dead in their crib and stuff.
Oh.
Sad.
Man, yeah, I hate to hear that.
Damn. Stuff crazy.
Yes.
You talked about me early and stuff on here, but I had to laugh at it and stuff because I was being funny what Wyatt said yesterday about us checking the shop. I didn't say nothing about no feet of man's feet. So all he said there, I said, you look fine and all that. So
now, you said something about a man having handsome feet.
No. Why he said that? He said, I'm not going to say that man had handsome feet and all that and everything else. I was joking, but I didn't say that.
Oh, I know. I was just clowning you.
I know you do, because you got to tell the truth, right?
Yes, I do.
But you don't tell the truth. You see how you lied on me that quick and make up a story, and the people went along with it?
It's close enough to the truth. You did say the words that man got handsome feet. Even though
say that.
You did. You were saying it, to say that was something that Wyatt had said, but you said those words. So technically.
I didn't say Come on, man. I didn't say that man I had no handsome feet, man.
You did.
I ain't even look at the man's feet or whatever. Well, I wouldn't recognize no guy having handsome feet or none of that.
All right. I don't even know what that means, but
You know what it means. You've been in a club before. You know what it means.
huh? No.
Yeah.
No, really. What does that mean? A man having handsome feet. What does that mean?
I don't know. You tell me.
You just said you know what it means. You've been in the club. I don't know what that
I said-
means.
Y'all know you've been around wrestlers and all that. When you used to wrestle, you probably say, "Hey, you guys nice tight, nice speedos you got on. Where you get those from? A nice belt."
What that got to
Pretty
do
sure you
with?
used
Okay. I don't know what we talking about. But what's on your mind?
No, man. What was that you just showed? I caught the tail end of.
That was a story out of North Carolina. There was a man. He was hold on. Let me see if I can pull it back up
He
so that
was
I can.
trucking. He was on the at the wait stop or something.
He was a 21. Hold on. Oh, come on, mouse. Stop acting up now. Now the
Don't
mouse
mess it
want
up
to act
'cause you
funny.
go-
A
No, that lady
21-year-old
gonna be
truck
talking about
driver
that
from
dentist.
Chicago. He was found dead in a rural area somewhere in North Carolina. The family's demanding answers. The sheriff says they are being transparent. He's a little upset that people are saying that it was a lynching, and he was explaining in a very nuanced way that it's not a lynching because the young man was not dangling from a tree. He wasn't swinging from a tree. The rope was wrapped around his neck. It wasn't a noose. There was not a knot in the rope. So therefore, it was not a lynching in Vance County. So that's the story.
Well, who put him up there though?
Well, the State Bureau of Investigation apparently is now investigating.
So it was just his truck was left like at the place. Was it a pit stop area or something?
I don't know. He was found against a tree apparently
Oh, that's messed up, man.
in North Carolina.
There ain't go too much talk, man. It's crazy, man. I don't know. Wait, I mean, man.
Yeah, it's
crazy,
a lot of crazy stuff going on out here, man. It's a lot of crazy stuff going
Something
on.
we gotta do is pray for one of those, especially these kids.
Now somebody asked me to ask you, do you know what is supposed to happen on September 25th?
I'm not going in details about this.
But you
Wait
do
and
know, you're just not going to tell us.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna go. Just wait.
Okay.
Let the prophecy manifest itself. Because this prophecy be on point, so I don't want to, talk about it really.
But you have no idea.
That's-
But you know
That's
what's
God's.
you-
That's God's work. So I
But
can't-
you know what's supposed to happen. Is just let it be a surprise to everybody else.
Thanks.
Okay. How did you find out?
Because I used to go to his church. He's a prophet, man.
And he went into more
And
detail?
they give, yeah, well, I thought I sent it to your inbox.
No, what you sent to my inbox just said something is going to happen on September 25th. That was the extent of the prophecy.
I thought you sent the whole sermon to your
No,
box.
you did.
Inbox.
And I watched, and the extent of the prophecy was that something is going to happen on September 25th. There were no specifics about what the something that's going to happen may be.
Oh, okay. Okay, then.
So, yeah, that's why I'm asking. If you know, it would be nice to know.
No, I'm not going to reveal. Just wait.
That's not the way God operate though. Like God tells the prophet so the prophet can tell the people. God don't tell the prophet like shh, but keep that secret. That's just between me and you.
Just wait and see, man. I'm not going to go in detail right now. My mind ain't on there right now. My mind is trying to figure something out.
Oh, well, all right.
So I'm really ain't focused on what,
Well,
what's
I
gonna
mean,
take place on the 25th,
Oh,
because
me.
right now, mine ain't even promised to either one of us. So whatever happens, happens.
all right.
All right, hey man, you be safe, man.
You do the
Keep on
same.
the chat and pray for these kids in this and this government that we all, man, come together as one. Because it's sad, man. It's just, all right, man.
All right. All right. That's Twin. He's sad. He said he ain't focused on it. He ain't focusing on it. You called me. Like, I didn't call you like, hey, Twin, let's rap a taste. And you're like, bro, I can't even focus. Like, there's just so much going on. I don't even focus. I just can't focus. You called me like, hey, let's rap a taste. I'm like, what's up? Like, oh, man, nah, I can't even focus to talk. Why did you? But no, I get it. The purpose of the call was just to, because I was teasing him about what he said on Wyatt's show. And so he just kind of wanted to laugh about it. That was it. I get it. Condolences to the mother of your child and to their family. And, yeah. Condolences to them. 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. 513-717-KING. That's how you get on board. People are still talking about the Haitians eating cats and all of that stuff, which is probably not true. I can't say with 100% certainty. It's probably not true. It was, everybody kind of realizes it was something that it's probably not true. But this is political season, and certain people understand that they benefit. Hold on, let me take this off the screen, because I am not Twin. Some people realize that they benefit when they turn other people against each other. So if we can get, the white people to not like the Haitians, we can get the black people to not like the Haitians, we can get the Latinos to not like the Haitians, and then we can get, the black people to not like the Latinos, and we can have all of them fighting. They'll be distracted, and they won't. Maybe they won't vote, or whatever the case may be. So I don't really fall for that stuff. Ron says, and if you can get black people to not like other black people, very true. Very true. I'm not sure why you kind of made that distinction, even though it's true. But, thus the nature of division. The nature of division. Get rich people to not like poor people. Get poor people to not like rich people. You can splinter people and then hopefully hold your people together. Because, for a lot of people, even if it's, I want you to hate everybody else, but believe in me. Because I can give you a message of hate. Like, those people are horrible people, but I can make it better. Like, yeah, those people, they're horrible people, but I can make it better. Yeah. Those people, they're horrible people, but I can make. Then everybody's fighting everybody, but they're rallying around you. You don't really like none of them. You only care about you. It's one of those things. And that's why that's what they do all the time. We all at each other's throats. No people of unity except for Jewish folks. Jewish folks, they're not as united as you think. I don't know why y'all think Jews are somehow magical and their life and their world is perfect. It's not true. It's not true. Purple Pro says, your entire premise of this show is white hate, though. Tell me anything that I've said that promotes white hate. I would love to know. See, it's easy to say that kind of stuff, but then when you got to back it up, it becomes a little more difficult. And if I'm promoting white hate, I want to know. So yeah, tell me, what have I said to promote white hate? I would love to know. Or what have I said that even gives you the idea that I hate white people or that I want you to hate white people? What have I said that even kind of gives off that idea? Who are the they that you speak of? It all depends on when I'm talking. I talk about a lot of different theys. So when are you asking? And then I'll tell you specifically who the they is that I'm talking about. John says, I see why the residents are angry, but they don't need to resort to BS stereotypes. Big issue I have with Trump is the BS rhetoric. He still has my vote because the state of the economy. All right. I don't know what you think he's going to do to help the economy. And which economy are you talking about? Pro said, you just said the issues with Haitians is about race. Well, I don't believe I said that, actually. I said they want us to be at each other's throats. And I talked about rich people and poor people. I talked about white people and black people and Haitian people and black people and Latino people and everything. So I talked about everybody. Now, who I was talking about when I said they, in this particular case, is the they who would benefit from us all kind of fighting each other. And that would be the they who are bringing up the nonsense about Haitians are eating pets in Springfield. So in this case, the they would be Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and the people who support them with that terrible rhetoric. So that wouldn't just be white people, and it definitely wouldn't be white people in general. There's a very specific they there. So again, I have to ask the question, what have I said that leads you to believe that I want you to hate white people? Or what have I said to encourage people to hate white people? It's just a question. I know you won't actually answer it because you don't have an actual answer. Because I know it's not who I am or what I say or what I promote. Whoever said they understand why the residents are angry, please have them explain why. That was John Ludd. So John, someone's asking if you can explain why you believe or why you feel like you can understand why the residents are angry. Purple Pro says, you think the Haitians or any other immigrant community care about Black America? It's not the point. It's not the point. I'm not asking if any Haitians care about Black people. I don't know if they do or if they don't. So I guess technically to answer your question, I don't know. But that's not the point that I was making by any of that. Is that, Haitians really care about Black people so much. No, it's not my point. Not at all. But just because somebody don't care about, say the Black community, so to speak, Black Americans, so to speak, does that mean we should lie on them and create these terrible racist stereotypes about them? John says resources being spent on non-taxpayers in their community. Well, my understanding of what's going on up there, and this is just from listening. Of course, I don't live there, and I haven't been paying really close attention. But my understanding of what's going on up there is these are not like illegal immigrants. Y'all all. Some people, love to scream immigrants. And then, I don't have no problem with immigrants as long as they're here legally. Okay, they're here legally. And my understanding is they're working, which means they are tax-paying citizens. So what non-taxpayers in their community are the resources being spent on? If 20,000 people from China came here right now and got jobs and started working, they're going to be paying taxes. And if they're here legally, they're paying taxes, then what's the problem with those taxpayers? Purple Pro says they aren't all working. Come on, be real. Okay, the children probably don't have jobs. But I think most reasonable people would understand that I wasn't saying that every single Haitian in Springfield is working. I bet it's some little babies. They don't have a job, okay? And I'm sure there are just some other people. But I was watching a little piece on them because, you know, the news, they're doing a lot of pieces on them. And if the information that they're giving us is wrong, then I'm going based on that information. They had people come to their community, and they had this guy. He owns a company, and he was like, "Look, I understand that some people have a problem with a lot of these Haitians who are coming here, but they come in, they come to work. I've hired a number of them. They come to work, they do their jobs. Sure, there's some language barriers. Sure, there's some cultural things that aren't the same, but they are not like a drain on our society here. They are contributing to our society. So, what? So is it we have a problem with illegal immigrants, or we have a problem with immigrants, just period? Because that's really more what it's feeling like. That's more what it's feeling like. That there's a problem with immigration. Ron says, you must not have been looking at the city council meeting in Springfield where they said they were not fitting in and they were taking resources, and they're taking resources from everywhere. I hate that I have to explain this type of stuff to people. Just because someone says something, a citizen says something at a city council meeting, doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean that they understand what's going on, right? They could be, you could tell them something, and then they repeat it at a city council meeting. And whoa, they said it at a city council meeting. See, they said it. They said the thing. They said the thing. They said the misinformation that they were fed, possibly. So just because someone said it at a city council meeting, and I know this is hard for y'all to understand, some of y'all, just because somebody said it at a city council meeting doesn't mean it's the truth. Ron says, so everybody is lying but you. Maybe they've been given some misinformation, and it is not hard. Hear me when I tell y'all this. It is not difficult to mislead people, especially people who are intolerant and don't mind being misled. It's not a difficult thing to do. I promise you it's not. So they weren't lying, not by my definition of a lie. They were just possibly repeating the misinformation that they were given. And because they were given misinformation and they're already somewhat intolerant, then they'll go to city council and say, hey, like, okay, they're taking all the resources. So these people at city council have combed through the books to see how much money and resources Haitian immigrants in their city have gotten? Enough to know that from some factual standpoint that they've done this or they've done that. They're taking all the money. How much money have they gotten? Well, I don't know, but it's a lot. Ron says, you keep saying possibly, which means you don't know. And you don't know if they told the truth or not. Ron, I can't believe I have to explain this. For real, it bugs me to have to explain this. The reason you say possibly, or the reason I say possibly, I can't speak for you, is because you're right. I don't know for a fact. Just like you don't know for a fact. Just like most of those people, more than likely at the city council meeting, hadn't had an opportunity to comb through the books line by line to see who's getting resources. People hear stuff and then they repeat it as if it's fact. I try to not do that. That's why I say stuff like, allegedly, probably, I've heard, it's been reported. That's called being responsible and not just believing the first thing that I heard that I want to roll with and then saying it as if it's a fact. It's called being responsible. Shelly.
Well, hey. All right, I'll take the bait. Are you there?
Yes, Shelly, I'm here. What bait are you taking?
Okay, so you're saying that these are assumptions and nobody has the facts. Okay, number one, there are numbers. There is data.
Hold on. Shelly, hold on. Let me ask you before we start. Can we have a conversation?
Of course.
All right. So.
Can we have respect?
You tell me, can we have respect?
Absolutely.
All right. So, you said there are numbers. Where are you getting these numbers?
Okay, here you got the city commerce. You've got jobs and family services. You have Ohio Means Jobs. You have the immigration policies. You have the food stamp numbers. You have the student enrollment in our public school numbers.
Okay, so Shelly, let's just take one of them. How much is Jobs and Family Services giving specifically to Haitians who have immigrated there legally?
Well, Haitians specifically, or you want to know just in general as far as immigration services?
No, Haitians.
It's not just about Haitians.
No, yes, it is. The conversation that is being had is about Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. So how much money are the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio getting from Jobs and Family Services in that area?
Okay, well, first of all, they're not giving them cash money, number one, without knowing what rental properties are being paid for by Jobs and Family Services.
No, because you should know that. If you're telling me, Shelly, because remember, this is Shelly, this is the premise of the conversation. The premise of the conversation is I don't know specifically what they're getting, and those people also don't know specifically what they're getting. And then you call in and say, well, yeah, they do know specifically what they're getting because all you got to do is look at these numbers. And so I'm asking you, apparently you've looked at those numbers, so you know specifically what they're getting. You can't say, well, but you have to know that. You should already know that to say that you know the information.
Okay, well, then we need to dig even deeper down the rabbit hole, right? And let's look up the different percentages of each kind of immigration that has been imported here to Ohio. Okay, number one, you know what? I don't know why you're taking the side of them when the people that are hurting the most right now are the children, okay, the inner city children. Cincinnati Public, okay, there's 3,000. What did they say? What was that?
Shelly, may I point out one thing? The Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio are probably not affecting very much the inner city youth in Cincinnati public schools. So what are you talking about?
But it floods here. It floods here. I'm saying the immigrants are absolutely affecting Cincinnati public. 100%.
Again,
Yes,
okay,
they
so
are.
you don't want to talk about the Haitians, the Haitian immigrants in Springfield. You've given up and you agree that what's being said up there is nonsense, right?
I don't think everyone's lying. I think the person at the store that reads the food stamp balance on the receipts, I don't think she's lying. The person at the bank wiring money, I don't think they're lying. The social worker.
Okay,
is
so
saying, yes, this
so how
person
much
lied,
money?
here's
So how much money did those legal Haitian
There's
immigrants
no set
get?
amount, and you know that. There's
What?
no set amount. How much money do people get for child care? Nobody
Exactly.
knows, 'cause there's no set
Again,
amount.
Shelley, you don't understand it, but you're actually proving my point. If you don't
No,
have
you're
the
not
information,
understanding. I'm trying to tell you what's
no,
going on,
if
and
you
just
don't,
wanna argue
if you
and be
no,
silly. You're
no,
being
no,
silly.
if you don't have the information, then how do you state for a fact
yes, I do
what's
have the
going
information.
on?
I'm trying to tell you, I do. I tell you, I do. Okay.
Okay,
you don't have
but I
time
just
for all that.
asked you and you said you don't.
All Ohio does is break it down by county, right? And says how many immigrants have arrived there, okay? There's over 100,000 immigrants that have been imported to the state of Ohio. What percentage of them are from Haiti? What's it matter?
It matters
telling me,
because
okay,
that's the conversation that's being had, Shelley. I don't understand how you
No, the
don't understand this. The conversation is about the Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, draining all the resources from Springfield,
true.
Ohio. That's the
Okay,
conversation.
Okay, fine. Okay, let's do this then. Okay, the school system there, right? Their Haitian students are taking up almost half, at least 1/3 of the student population. That affects all of the children in the classrooms, does it not? The Haitians are driving recklessly and wrecking cars. That affects all of the population.
Hold on, wait.
Insurance for your car-
Come on, let's take these one at a
insurance for your
time.
car-
Can we take these one at a time? It's important to me. All right, you said what's the exact number of Haitian immigrants in the school system there?
They said like 1,300.
All right. So you said that is what percentage of the school population?
1/3 to 1/2.
Ooh, that's a big gap. Can you tell me what it actually is? Okay, you don't know.
Between
So that's
1/3 and
so that
1/2.
right. No, so that's so again, that's fine. There's more information that we actually don't know, but that's fine. That's fine. Wouldn't you say that the Haitians who are there working legally pay into that same school system?
How do you figure?
They pay taxes.
They pay property taxes?
They pay rent. If they're living somewhere, they pay rent, and out of that rent comes property taxes. So they are stakeholders.
S pays their rent, and the companies are usually LLCs that aren't even in Ohio.
Okay, again, you're saying this usually and usually this. That's more information that we don't have. But they are stakeholders. Clearly, if they are there, they are working, they are living, they are stakeholders. Would you agree?
Not all of them. Okay, so what's your argument then? So you're saying just bring more and more Haitians and have them come to Cincinnati too?
First, no one talked about
That's
Cincinnati.
your argument?
No, I don't understand. How do y'all don't hear? Like,
Ohio.
have you been listening?
Our taxes are
Have you been
affected
listening?
too.
Let me explain to the best of my ability the origin of this conversation, of this particular portion of this conversation. Someone said they understand why the people in Springfield, Ohio have a problem with the Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio. The reason that they said is because they are draining all of the resources from the other citizens in Springfield, Ohio. So the conversation we're having is not about bringing Haitians to Cincinnati. It's not about Cincinnati public schools. It's not about immigrants in Cincinnati. The conversation we're having is about whether or not those Haitians are draining the resources in Springfield, Ohio. And they're saying that as if they have some actual information to back it up. And you called in to apparently to say you have information to back up what they said. And so I'm asking you, what information do you have that backs up the conversation that we're currently having?
What proof do you have that they're not?
That's not the way that works. I can look, hold on. No, I can sit here right now and say any sort of fact in the world, and you say, well, that's not true. Well, prove that it's not true. No, I'm the one who stated something as a fact. I should have information to prove that it is true. You don't just flip it that way. Well, prove that they're not. That's like you going to court and they say you killed somebody and, well, prove you didn't. You shouldn't have to prove you didn't. They have to prove that you did.
Okay, fine then. You're right. They're not using any resources. They're not getting food stamps, Section 8, nothing. You're right. Okay,
Well,
my bad.
That's probably not true. That's probably not true. I can't say again with 100% certainty because maybe they're not. And again, that becomes the point that I'm making. Anybody can stand up and say anything with no information. That's why it's responsible to say, I don't think this is happening, or I don't believe this is happening, or it seems to me that this might be happening. Allegedly, this is happening. That might be true. But when y'all say certain things as if it's a fact with no information, you and people who are doing what you are doing. That's who y'all is.
Okay, guess what? Your county commissioners just approved tens of millions to go for immigrant resources, immigrant services.
Okay,
is that not proof enough?
And?
There's proof.
And?
That's statewide.
And?
Statewide, there are...
Well,
Okay,
county commissioners don't approve resources statewide, so that's just factually inaccurate.
No, I said statewide, meaning every county. Okay, yes, they get funded by state and federal reimbursement. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I'm not
so what is your point?
Simp for the government because they ain't simping for you.
Hold on, what is your point? What is your point?
Our property taxes have gone up, our groceries have gone up, car insurance has gone up, rent has gone up because we're paying into these services. I'm not arguing with you about it. It's online. If you don't care, then you don't care. Keep simping for the government because they're not simping for you. And on that, I'm out because I'm not going to talk in circles. Facts are facts, E. Have a good day.
You have no facts. You had no facts that entire conversation. You can't be mad at me because you called in to spit facts, but then came up empty on facts. Brian.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm sitting here trying to mind my own business and just listen to the show. But I get so tired of simpleton thought in this conversation where we can't get further. Leave aside people's opinions. Like I take Shelley for example. Shelley is welcome to her opinion, and she's welcome to state it. The problem comes when, like you said, when you get down to the actual facts and you have none, then it's hard to we can't even argue on the same plane. So let me give some. A third of the population in Springfield is immigrant. A lot of that percentage is Haitian. If there's 60,000 people in Springfield, and that's a kind of a vague number, but it's more or less 60,000. There's been an influx of 15,000 or so Haitians in that area, whether they specifically are in Springfield or the outlying areas, but that's a close enough number. Here's another number. 42% of immigrants, wait, let me pull it up again. I had it in front of me. So minority enrollment in Springfield schools is 42%. That doesn't say who that is. That's a combination of everybody who is considered, quote unquote, a minority. In the Springfield area, there are 48% of the student body who are considered coming from disadvantaged families. Now, those families could be white, they could be Haitian, they could be immigrant, they could be U.S. born. That breakdown doesn't currently exist, or it doesn't. Let me not say it doesn't exist. I haven't found that yet. But let's go to another point related to this, which is what is underneath all of this vitriol and hatred and negative feelings towards immigrants. It comes from the fact that in the society we live in, although there are oodles and oodles of iterations of wealth all around us, the vast majority of us don't get any of it. So we're left those of us who refuse to see the bigger picture are left fighting each other for the scraps, rather than blaming and pointing the finger at the people who hold all the wealth. That's the biggest problem. And you get right-wing politicians who point out part of that picture and say, you don't have anything, and now they're getting something. Okay, well, for the Haitian immigrant who has virtually nothing, and they start to get a little bit of something, now this person who's an established citizen who has more but doesn't have enough is blaming the person who only just got a little bit, rather than the people who are holding the whole sack. And as long as we keep doing that, we will continue to both. That is, the Shelleys of the world and the Bryans of the world and the Emanuels of the world, we will remain victims of those who have all the stuff. I'm trying to state it as simply as possible so that it doesn't seem like it's partisan, because I don't support either of the parties. I think they're both pro-war parties. I think they both support, above all, the interests of the rich. And I also don't criticize people who decide for one reason or another to vote for this or that one. That's fine. And I don't think the Republican and the Democratic parties are the same. I don't think Trump is the same as Kamala. I'm not stupid. I follow politics. I'm serious about it. But this thing here that we keep fighting each other over is the same thing we've been doing since white people ceased to be slaves in the United States. Official slaves, chattel slaves. And it just keeps repeating itself. And you find people like your Trumps and your Vances who take advantage of that fact that you feel like by another person getting a little more and getting a little better, that it's at your detriment, when it's actually the opposite.
Hold on, Brian.
Yeah,
Brian,
sure, yeah.
Stephanie wants to know, because she does not believe you, where did you get your information?
My figures about Springfield?
Yes.
I got from usnews.com, which is a nonpartisan, for the most part, news outfit. It's also repeated in BBC, which is the international, kind of more liberal-winged publication, and it's also in Springfield News Sun. Does that work for you?
I don't know. Stephanie, she didn't believe you, and so I figured I would help her out and ask where you got the information. Go ahead.
No, that's fair. And she has the right to ask for that, and she should ask for that. So sources given, hopefully you look it up for yourself and you see what I'm talking about. But the biggest thing is not this minutia of the numbers of Springfield. It's this bigger question that I'm trying to pose, which is, you work in a factory, all right? And the factory is 40% black, 40% white, 20% immigrant. The immigrants come in, they start off getting, you make $25 an hour. They come in, company doesn't tell them what everybody else is making, they make $15 an hour. Okay, after they figure out what everybody else is making, they fight through the union, or if you don't have a union, whatever, and they start making that extra amount to be equal to yours. The attitude that some of these people have is that, oh, look at them taking more money from the company. They're taking more resources from the company, as if that's affecting you. When in reality, it's what they try to tell you, the opposite is true. When the lower sectors of society start to do better, that tide rises. It's the opposite of what they tell you about trickle down. Well, let the top people get all the stuff and it's eventually going to roll down to you. No. When McDonald's workers make more money, it helps all workers. When the minimum wage raises, it helps all workers. When GM workers go on strike and they get more money out of their contract, or teachers get more money out of their contract, it helps other workers. It's not the other way around like we're told to think. But let the media tell it, let the newspapers tell it. They say, oh, look at the teachers again. all they do is run around and teach students and blah, blah, blah. Now they're asking for more money to get you to be against them. When in reality, if anybody, you should be pointing a finger. I won't even say at the Board of Education. I would say at the state budget that only gives less than 10%. It's actually much less than 10%, but I don't have the figures in front of me, so I don't want to give the lower number that's in my head. 10% of money goes towards that. 10% is not just for education. It's for all the social programs, including education. Guess how much police get?
How much?
It's up, if you put it together with the fire department, it's 33%. 33% of the budget goes to those services, while education is under double-digit figures. So let's start with that. Anyway, I don't want to take up all the time, but I just want us to, if we as people, and I don't just mean black people, if we as people who are truly the oppressed, those who work for a living, check to check, could just acknowledge that they have the money, and by they I mean the employers, the wealthy, they have the money, they have the resources. Let's get mad at them and let's side with each other. And anytime my brother or sister, white, black, Latino, Indian, anytime they get a little bit more, I'm happy as hell. Because it means that we can get more collectively. So I'll just stop there, brother. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your program. I'm just going to listen now.
Brian, I appreciate you. And yeah, I feel like what he was saying was kind of what I was saying at the beginning. Well, maybe not the beginning, but it's what I was saying. Like, look, if I can get you fighting against you, and you fighting against you, and y'all fighting against each other, ain't nobody paying attention to me, and I got all of the stuff. That's why they want us against each other. And some people just fall for it. And, you know, some people don't. Ron.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Now, that was disrespectful as fuck for me to be tooting that horn in your ear like that when you was trying to talk. And that's the way you be making me feel, especially when you will hesitate to use the word retarded because you don't want to say anything against anybody with disabilities, but you will take advantage of my disability all the time, and that's bullshit.
Ron,
and that's what I was getting you to see.
Ron.
Yeah.
What you're saying is factually inaccurate. And actually, here's what happens. It's happening right now. It's happening already, Ron. This is what happens during our conversations. I let you speak, and then I go to respond, and 3 words into my response, you hollering and screaming and cussing at me. So you never hear what I have to say, and then I have to speak over you.
3 words into your response, and you be interrupting me.
Ron,
you be interrupting me.
I let you speak. I let you speak.
All right.
Ron, if you've been on for 30 or so minutes.
No, I ain't talking about 30 minutes, and I ain't talking about how long I've been on. I'm talking about when I'm trying to get to a point.
You take so long. You take so long to get there.
Okay. Well, that's the reason I did that. And like I said, you'll sit there and try not to use the word retarded, but you would take advantage of me and my disability. But you know I'm a beast. I'm gonna go ahead and go for what I know.
No, so Ron. What happens is I want us to.
That being said,
hold on, Ron. I want us to have a conversation, and sometimes I feel like. It frustrates me that I feel like I have to teach grown people how a conversation works. Conversations don't always work.
When you say shit like that, motherfucker, you ain't got to teach me shit.
Apparently I do because
it's nothing. You ain't got to. You ain't got to teach me shit now, man.
Apparently,
I respect you like a motherfucker. You ain't got to teach me shit.
Do you not do that? Do you not hear what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I'm doing that because I told you.
That's the way you do it every time. That's not new.
You do that shit.
That's the way you do every conversation,
do that shit.
Ron.
All right.
It's what you do every conversation.
I was telling you why I did what I did. So we beyond that. So now,
hold on. Are we gonna have a conversation now?
Yeah. I'm gonna attempt to have a conversation, but you know who I am. I'm not the normal motherfucker. So that being said, now I believe BT was a gentleman that makes at least $60,000 a year, because he wouldn't talk that shit. Now, you can talk all of that shit.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait. You said he wouldn't talk that S. What S is he talking that? What are you talking about?
He was talking about that we can all come up and all this little shit. No, I can't do verbatim, but you heard what he said.
Right.
And I heard what he said too. And like I said, I can guarantee you that that's coming from a motherfucker that makes $60,000 a year better, and he got a wife, so they make $120 a year better at best. Now, and I might be wrong.
But okay, let's assume for the sake of argument Ron,
I'm sorry.
Let's assume for the sake of argument you're correct. What does his income have to do with the idea that what's the a rising tide floats all boats or whatever?
It has to do with what the fuck he just said. You know, you can sit there and do that shit when you ain't sitting back looking at the storage unit that you and your kids gonna sleep in, motherfucker. You can do that shit when you ain't sleeping in the motherfucking car. You can do that shit. When you ain't couch surfing, you can do that shit. And you can say that shit when you ain't couch surfing on families' couches that you won't even fucking like.
What?
You can do that shit.
I don't understand the point that you're making. It actually, what you're saying sounds...
Wait, here, I finished making the point. I
should understand it, though.
So, yeah, you should understand it, but you're listening slow. So I'll make it more clear.
Okay.
See, when these people are taking resources, people in the United States didn't just get homeless. We ain't just been struggling.
Okay.
Now that the immigrants came, we've been struggling.
Okay.
So, motherfucker, get in line. Get in there. If you want the resources, get in line.
Hold on. May I address that? Hold on. May I address that, sir? So, it sounds to me like you're angry because someone gets up and goes and gets a job. Why would that make you we're talking about these immigrants, these Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, okay? And a number of them are working people, and people are mad at these immigrants for working and making money.
No. We ain't getting mad at the motherfuckers that's working, like the chick I seen yesterday.
Sounds like anger.
The chick I seen yesterday that was working for the immigrant services up in Springfield. Oh, okay. She said she's been working. I think she said for 2 years doing that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not talking about her.
Who are you talking about?
Her. I'm talking about the people that get resources before we get our resources. That's been waiting for resources. Well, it ain't. And you misconstrue what I said when I said about the 4 Latino dudes, the 4 Latino boys that I seen walking across the parking lot. What I was saying was, and exactly what I'm saying was, is in Springfield. you can't have three, and Shelley was probably trying to say the same thing. You can't have 3 to 5 million or 3 to 5,000 CPS students and not having nowhere to go, and these motherfuckers walk in. It wasn't no apartments back there, but senior apartments, and it's little apartments back behind there
I don't even know what you're talking about.
on the Centerville Road, and then it's just houses. Then it's just houses. So I'm saying, it ain't no fucking way in the world. It ain't no fucking way in the world. Nobody in CPS that have kids should be looking for a place to fucking stay when they getting it. And
may I understand? May I understand your point?
It's a fucking problem
Ron,
with them getting resources and us not getting it.
Ron, may I understand
and that's a fucking problem.
Ron,
nigga.
All right.
Yes.
Ron, it feels like your point is immigrants should be homeless and hungry as if there's any citizen that's homeless and hungry. So if there's one U.S. Hold on. I'll let you finish. Ron, I'll let you finish. Ron, I'll let you finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So if there's an American citizen that's homeless and hungry, then all of the immigrants should be homeless and hungry. Until there's no American citizens, they all got money, they all got homes, they all got food, they all got their needs taken care of, then every immigrant in America should not have food, not have a place to live, not have food to eat or money to spend.
That's asinine and ridiculous.
I agree.
And I'm not saying that.
I agree it is.
I'm not saying that. But I'll tell you what, a motherfucker from Haiti, Venezuela, Kazakhstan, any motherfuckers, anybody, they should go hungry before an American citizen should go hungry.
So then that's exactly what I just said. Okay.
They should be homeless before an American citizen should be homeless.
Okay.
They should go struggle before an American citizen should struggle.
All right.
And if anybody says anything that questions that, they fucking delusional.
Ron, you just said something that questioned that, because that's exactly what I said, and you said that's asinine. So which is it?
I said it's asinine to think everybody ain't gonna get nothing.
But you just finished saying that if there is an American that does not have, then they shouldn't have. That's what you just said.
You all up in that fuss shit. You all up in that fuss shit.
You just said it. You said what I said. And then I said what you said. And then you said it's asinine. And then you repeated what I just said.
Nigga, you know what the fuck I mean. And if you
I do.
Know,
and it's asinine. It's asinine.
I don't mind fucking saying the word.
All right.
I don't mind saying the word.
Okay. I appreciate your call.
Bye.
All right. Y'all, somebody got to be pranking me. Because this happens so much. This happens so much. Somebody got to be pranking me. He said, without saying the words, that if there's a single American citizen that's homeless and hungry, then all the immigrants, they shouldn't get nothing until every American got something. And then I said, so you said if there's a single American, they shouldn't get nothing until all the Americans got something. Then he say that's asinine. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if there's a single American that ain't got nothing, then the immigrants shouldn't have nothing. He said what I said. What? See, this is what y'all have to understand. I don't make this stuff up. And sometimes when you say stuff, maybe you should record yourself and then listen to you back. Because all I did was say what he said. But listening to it back, it was asinine. In his head, it makes perfect sense. But me saying it is asinine. Ron, if me saying exactly what you said is asinine, what you think is asinine, and you might want to rethink that. Now he's saying, I didn't say that. You did say that. I said Americans should eat before immigrants should eat. That's what I said, Ron. That is what I said. You're repeating it again. Oh my God, y'all got to be punking me. Somebody is punking me somewhere because there's no way that when I say the exact same thing that they say, they can't hear it. There's no way. That's not real. Nate.
E-Man, you smoked him with his own words. and so I want to go back. Number one, I want to give credit to Donald Trump and to the Republicans and to MAGA. Earlier today, Donald Trump had a press conference. It wasn't a real press conference, but he said it was a press conference. And he, once again, he can't stop stepping on his own thing. So he once again brought up Springfield, Ohio. He sort of kind of pledged to maybe even come visit Springfield. He threw in this city in Colorado that they claimed was being overtaken by the Venezuelan gang. And on Springfield, he once again went into Haitian immigrants. Now he's giving up on the eating pets, stealing people's pets and cats and dogs. Now he's on this, well, they eating geese. They're going down to the local parks and they circling the ponds and then they stealing the ducks and the geese up out of there and they snapping their necks. Now, ain't nobody got no video of this, even though everybody in America almost got a cell phone with a camera on it and the video recorder. Ain't nobody got no pictures of these Haitian immigrants in Springfield eating up the ducks. And even though the man who's over the park, in the county park, has said that's not true, law enforcement has said that's not true, the mayor has said that's not true, the governor has said that's not true, Donald Trump, he likes this argument. He likes bringing this he likes demonizing and making people think, oh, them Haitians. I read some stuff on the internet talking about Haitians and voodoo, trying to explain why they were stealing cats. And it had something to do with they practice voodoo and all these stereotypes. And then I read some people from Haiti said, number one, even if we did practice voodoo, cats ain't involved in voodoo. Now, if they was maybe talking about some chickens, maybe we on the, but the bottom line is the Haitians are not stealing cats. They're not stealing dogs, which is what Donald Trump said at the debate, and they're not stealing geese either. Now, but Donald Trump keeps saying that. Even people like radicalized Ron and Shelley ain't arguing that no more. They done moved on to, well, it's a bigger point. The point is that this community has been overrun with these Haitian immigrants. And the state of Ohio, I believe Shelley said 100,000 immigrants have been imported into Ohio. Now, think back, because, again, I started out by saying I want to give credit to the Republicans and to MAGA because they have a way of playing the long game. And so they can start talking about something months. It won't catch on. They just keep pushing it. So if you remember earlier this year and even last year, you had the governor from Florida and the governor from Texas trying to say immigration is a problem. And it's not just the border. Every city and every town, every state is a border community. And so these immigrants are causing problems everywhere they go. Now, so that to me is what Shelley is saying. That's why she's dropping that 100,000. They're in here. They're overwhelming the school system. They're taking your food stamps. You could be getting them food stamps. Now, of course, and see, people who don't listen to this show on a regular, I try to listen every day. You've actually been playing the long game, too, because you've been telling them about how anytime you want to win an argument, all you got to do is throw up immigrants. It don't matter what you're talking about. Throw up immigrants. Because there's this embedded fear of immigrants, and it's been people been playing us. They've been sort of priming us to get ready for what they're doing now. So anyway, on Springfield specifically, I agree with Brian because I've read stories in the Associated Press, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and some of the TV websites like CNN, MSNBC. And what I've gathered from reading them is, number one, is 15,000 Haitians in Springfield, not 20,000. Yes, Springfield has around about 60,000 people. So you might say, well, why did Kamala Harris ship them immigrants out there to Springfield? Springfield, they knew that community was going to be overwhelmed. Now, I heard conspiracy theorist Glenn Beck yesterday. I listened to his show because when I need a good conspiracy, when I need to know what the conspiracy people are talking about, I usually tune him in first. And I got some more on the internet. But so Glenn Beck is the first person I heard make this argument. Glenn Beck said, it's not about the cats or dogs. It's not about the cats. It's about how can you take 1/3 of the population and push them into Springfield, Ohio. And if you didn't know no better, you might say, they got a point. Why did they do that? Well, again, you have to pay attention to current events and know a little recent history. They criticizing Kamala Harris because they saying she was the border czar. What did she do? Well, one of the things that she did, she was put in charge of going to these states, these nation states, these countries that was having problems and that we were seeing a lot of immigrants. And number one, how can we get these people to stay here and not try to get to America? That was her number one goal. Her number two goal was, and a lot of people slept on this, was we putting up a website, and if people agree to stay in their country, like Haiti, Venezuela, Nicaragua, if they agree to stay in their country, and you go to the website, and my understanding is you can even go to the embassy in those countries, and Cuba was the fourth country. If you go there, you apply for legal papers to make you legally able to come to America, then we will fast track you. Now you got to go through vetting because I hear that a lot on the chatter. Well, these people wasn't properly vetted. Yes, they were. Number two, you have to have a sponsor. Number three, you have to be welcomed into the community. I guess that goes along with the sponsor. So in Springfield, and it's actually a website that I know y'all ain't necessarily as cool as maybe I would love to see y'all be, but Damon Lynch had sent me something last night, Reverend Damon Lynch III, and he actually had the link to the website that the Springfield elected officials and the business community set up. They basically begged the Haitians to come to Springfield. And the reason why was because we know about white flight. We know about, I forget the other term, but I heard the mayor of Springfield on the radio earlier today, and he used the term, I think they call them legacy communities. Does that make sense? Does that sound right? This term for these communities that have seen a lot of population decreases. Whatever it is, Springfield is one of those communities. So they were set up at their peak. They had way more than 60,000 people. So now we down to 40,000 people. We've got people fleeing the city. So again, the business community and the elected officials said, we need some immigrants. So they go get with Governor DeWine, who has a special relationship with Haiti because he's got some kind of a charity. I didn't know all this stuff until I started reading. He's got a special charity. And I bring that up because on one hand, these people say, the Democrats ain't never did nothing for Haiti. look at Bill and Hillary Clinton. In fact, they went and stole all the money from Haiti. So now, when you have Democrats in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris who go say, you know what, Haiti's in turmoil, they got violence, people want to get out, we want to help bring them to America if they agree to come here. So the bottom line is, these people didn't invade. I heard some lady, some white woman, was Shelley a white woman? Do we know Shelley?
I believe she's a white woman. I think she said that she's a white woman, and she kind of, sounds like a white woman. So I take her word for it. She's a white woman.
She kind of sounds like somebody I've seen at a family function, but I don't want to speculate because I don't want no trouble next time the family gets together. But anyway, so these people did not cross the border and get captured and then get sent to Springfield, Ohio. They got on a plane. Oh, they had to pay their own way. That was one of the things. They got on the plane. They got vetted. They came to Springfield, Ohio. They are, in essence, helping save a dying city. So when Shelley starts talking all this stuff about but, and I want to know, where are all these people in Springfield, the actual residents, who's so mad about this? If the residents was really mad, why would they elect a man who put this in place? The residents elected the mayor. I think what you have is you have this confusion. We used to call it I think you and Ken Anderson and some of the rest of them used to call it the buzz effect. So if one person goes to a council meeting and they get videotaped and then that gets put on the news or gets put on the internet, then people say, oh, they must just be they not the only one. It's a majority out there who agree with them. They tired of these immigrants. But my thing is, the majority elected the mayor. The city manager works for the mayor and the council. If the mayor and the city manager and the law enforcement is saying, we ain't got no problem with these people. I probably saw the same interview that you saw or a similar one with a business owner. They was right there in his factory. Mm-hmm. He said, we grateful for the Haitians. He said they show up on time. They show up every day. They don't leave their workstation like he didn't say this, but like a lot of Americans do. He said they ain't on their phone. He didn't say that. I'm saying that. They ain't on their phones. They work hard. They ain't on drugs. Now, I was thinking, when he said it, I was thinking, why did he say that? Maybe because all these white people on methamphetamines and fentanyl and all the other stuff. So basically, the white people didn't want these jobs. They had to get workers, and so you got the Haitians there. So I want to make one last point.
All right.
Really, not only am I not mad at the Haitians for answering the call to come save Springfield, Ohio, I want to think I would love to see this conversation go in a different way, because I heard something a little troubling last night, which is a lot of these people don't have the money to buy a house, per se, and they're not going to be here forever. They're in temporary status. So the thought is, once everything cools down in Haiti, they can take the money that they've made over here in America, they pay taxes on it, they pay Social Security on it, they pay sales taxes.
What, you telling me that they work and they actually pay tax? They contribute to...
They're contributing.
Okay.
And then Shelley said something else, and I put it in the chat, but everybody may not be reading the chat. She said, well, where they're living is probably owned by LLCs that are out of the state. Well, you answered me this question. Don't LLCs, whether or not they're based in Ohio or out of Ohio, don't they still have to pay property tax?
I thought so, but when she said it, I said, well, maybe they have some special exemption where if an LLC owns a property, then they don't have to pay taxes. So maybe I need to get my LLC some property.
Her argument was not well thought out. She thought she was going to call it here to the majority black audience she was going to say, they putting them Haitian immigrants over y'all black people, and that we was going to all, I'm sorry, I don't know if you, I got my GPS on, so I don't know if you can hear that.
No, couldn't
but
hear.
I think we should be weary of those Haitians getting taken advantage of. And I heard a report last night that suggested that some of them have to pay people. Did you ever work for a temp agency?
Yes.
They ever gave you transportation?
No.
Well, I have, and it was a time I didn't have a vehicle, and so you can get caught up. Poor people get taxed on a lot of stuff. So I worked for a temporary agency. They took us out to some factory, I want to say out in Mason, and so if you rode the bus that was provided by the temp agency, guess what? They took money out of your check for that bus. So their thing is, these people are going through a particular agency, and the agency is helping them get housing and helping them get transportation and helping them get a lot of stuff, and they're not doing it for free. They're actually taking money from the Haitians, and so it's always a fear or a concern that these people might be charging the Haitians more than they would be charging the Americans who would go use their services. So I just think it's much ado about nothing, but you got to give the MAGA, the Trump supporters, credit, because they, even though Trump's still out here on the pet thing, which is making him look like a fool, they have come back to try to make it like, well, Trump might have been wrong on a few technicalities, like about them eating cats and dogs and ducks, but he was right on the bigger picture, and that's all they're trying to do. Trump was wrong, as usual. These are legal immigrants. The Biden-Harris administration ought to get credit for going back, getting that website up, and for saving cities like Springfield, Ohio. They needed immigrants. They went and found them. Everybody wins. It's a win-win. I'm out of here. Thank you, Email.
All right. Hold on. There was a few messages that I wanted to respond to. Y'all know I like responding to the messages. I'm going backward. CK.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, listen to your brother on the phone, man. Hey, Nathaniel Livingston, he a true American gangster, in my opinion, man.
Let me address the comment that you made. You said
Yes,
when he's on, I don't talk. And typically, I interrupt people either to understand what they mean or to question what sounds like questionable information. So here's where y'all could take a lesson. Call in with like a succinct point, be clear, and don't give out nonsensical, exceptionally questionable information. Remember when Brian called? I didn't interject too much because he was giving out would at least sound like it could be reasonable information. He made good points that I didn't have to try to understand what he was saying. So that's just a hint and a half for y'all. If you want to talk, I let you say what you're going to say, but at least you should have some reasonable points and some information that sounds like it could be true. Go ahead.
Yeah, but y'all, you got to think, man. You got to think, y'all. You can see the sibling in the call. You can see the sibling, the respect.
Well, we agree on a lot of things, no doubt. But right. I had that same amount of respect for Brian.
Yeah, but it's different. Brian is not your DNA flesh brother. Right. That's different. DNA flesh brother.
Yeah, that actually kind of goes along with what I'm saying. Like, it's not necessarily a DNA thing. It's a make sense thing.
But then, I like how Nate, he a true American gangster because he won't budge. He won't engage. So you could try to hit him with the greatest compliment or the worst kind of slander. He never engages. See, it's like, you know how they say the moon never talks back to the dog, never bark back at the dog. Nate won't. He don't engage the hate. You notice that?
No.
Man, I ain't said nothing. I didn't hit him with how you doing, love to the family, not a word. He's like, I'm not talking to your retarded ass. I like that. I respect that. You know what I mean? Because he won't budge.
Yeah, why y'all keep saying that word?
Listen, I am what I am. Y'all have to stop being so damn, what is it, pussified? Why y'all so damn sensitive now? You grew up off the word, now you're fucking scary? Now your panties bleeding? Stop motherfucking being scared over words.
It's not about being afraid. It's about respect. You know what I'm saying?
It is respect. I am retarded. This is what I was diagnosed. Call me what I am, sir.
I doubt that you were. You don't have a medical diagnosis that just says the R word. You don't.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
You don't. I can almost guarantee that that's true. You cannot show me some document from a doctor where the diagnosis is retarded. You can't do it.
And when I do produce it, then what? If I send it to your messenger, then what?
Then
you gonna say you was wrong?
No, first I would have to verify it. Because, you know, anybody can make up anything. I see all kinds of stuff. AI done made Trump run away with the cats up in Springfield, Ohio, and it looked like Trump got some cats and he running with them. So I would have to verify it. But then if I verify it and it's true, then I would say, you know what? You were right and I was wrong.
And you are what's wrong with America. Let me explain. When these young girls go tell their mama that their boyfriend been touching on them, they say the same thing you do. That boy ain't messing with you. He a grown man. How you gonna tell her what happened to her when your ass was asleep? It's like you telling me about my life. That's like me telling you what happened, what you was diagnosed with. I'm not your doctor. Y'all crazy.
I don't know that you can compare those two things in almost any way,
if
shape,
you tell
or form.
me you got diabetes, man, that's what it is. How the fuck am I to be like, man, that nigga ain't got diabetes, man. He just saying that for the internet.
Right, but if I tell you the doctor diagnosed me and you say what you got, and he say I got that sugar. You could be like, ain't no doctor said you got that sugar. He might have said you have type 2 diabetes, which is commonly referred to as sugar diabetes, but he ain't said you got that sugar. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's not, ain't nobody, oh my goodness.
You got to think, when we was growing up, retarded was in. Retarded
but it's
just
not
went out
now.
the last 10 years.
But it's not now. That's what I'm saying. We
but
should.
But if you was diagnosed when it was in, you gonna go against okay, now people sensitive to the word. This is me. This is what they call, I'm not calling somebody else that. I'm saying what they died. You heard me on your call.
I don't believe, here's what I'm telling you. I don't believe that they diagnosed you that. Even if I believed that you were diagnosed anything, I don't believe they diagnosed you that.
How many times have I told you when I was 6 or 7 months old, I was dropped on my head at Kroger at the grocery cart. The thing tipped over and I cracked my head. It's a brain injury, bleeding on the brain, sir. These are real issues. Babies get dropped on their head every day, B.
Okay, yes, they do.
That's what I'm saying. So what makes me exempt? So I'm the impossible baby dropper.
Okay, I don't even really know what we're talking about now.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Y'all go in people's lives like you live their lives. I can't tell E-Man what he did. How can I tell you where you graduated from? You can tell me that.
But
so when people tell you they lies, now they lying. What the fuck they got to lie to you for? For what?
CK, there is still there was I'm gonna try to use this, but I know people is gonna be. There was a time when it was very much accepted for white people here in America to call black people the N-word.
Right.
It was not offensive. There was nothing wrong with it. We're not there anymore. And so a white person can't come up and call me the N-word and be like, man, come on, just grow up. It's just a word that I use. No. We've decided as a society that is an offensive word. I've decided as a person hearing that from a white person that that's an offensive word. It's a simple matter of respect to say, okay, maybe I don't have a problem with the word, but if the word is offensive to you and the overwhelming majority of society, I won't use it just out of respect. I think that's reasonable.
So you think that the retarded and the N-word is related?
Okay, for the sake of argument, I'll say yes. Yes, it is. Some people view it like what Seabree said, it's a slur. Just like the N-word, some people view it as a slur. Yes, the N-word is a slur. It's a matter of respecting people, respecting the times, growing and knowing what's going on in society. And I don't think that that's that hard.
Sir, it's not hard to understand that non-retarded people don't have the right to tell retarded people what to call themselves. Is that understandable?
That's understandable.
That's my point. All y'all sane people, what you call illogical people, want to try to act like, which makes y'all crazy too, because you thinking, well, y'all shouldn't say, who the fuck is you to tell a retarded person what to call themselves? Motherfucker, you ain't retarded.
All right.
That's like women call they.
Hello? Hello? See, I didn't hang up on him. He's actually still on the line. Hello?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what happened.
Sorry about that. No, that was my retarded.
That was the universe telling you saying dumb stuff and stop.
Okay. See, we can't express ourselves. See, certain people.
I didn't stop you from expressing yourself. The phone stopped you from expressing yourself.
You're right. But I just want people to understand. You don't know what other people going through, so it's not for you to judge what somebody call themselves. That's crazy for other people to be offended of what people call themselves.
All right.
That's the point I'm trying to get through. Yes, sir.
I understand.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Thanks for the show, brother.
All right. Take it easy. That was CK. I don't know how it became about that word, but it did. But there was some other stuff that happened during the conversation. Hold on. I know Stephanie. Stephanie has said a few times, you interrupt people. Look, I like to have conversations, right? Like if I'm sitting here, and I keep going through this. If I'm sitting here and you're on the phone with me and we're having a conversation and I'm like, hello, Stephanie, how are you doing? And then you just sit there and you're like, okay, are you finished yet? Is it my turn to talk? And I'm like, yes, I'm finished. It's your turn to talk. And you're like, I'm doing fine. And then I'm like, are you finished yet? Is it my turn to talk? That's not the way normal people have conversations. There's a flow and, sometimes there's a respect to people. You're talking and you're saying something. You say something that confuses me and I say, hold on, I didn't understand what you just said. A normal conversation, the person would be like, okay, well, what didn't you understand? And then I explain what I didn't understand and then they explain it to me. All of that, just talking over and all that stuff, that's not normal conversation. And I'm going to wait till you finish. Okay, are you finished talking? Is it my turn? That's not normal conversation. Caller?
Hey, Emanuel, it's Jerica. How are you?
Hey, Jerica, how you doing? I'm good.
Good. So I'm calling because I just can't sit in this anymore. Why? And of course, this is your show, so you run it how you want to run it. But why do you allow Twin and Ron And sometimes CK, I don't really want to rock much with CK right now, so I'm not really feeling him. But Ron and Twin, why do you allow them to be so disrespectful towards you? Like I mean, of course they're gonna get upset and act like just emotionally unintelligent men. That's how they're behaving. But they go to the extent of using like MF, nigga. Like, why do you allow that? Like, why not just shut that shit down and just like? It frustrates, as a friend, as a true friend of yours, it frustrates me that they are that verbally abusive towards you and you allow it. I know you like the banter. I know you enjoy the back and forth at times because, you know, I don't know, something weird about you. You enjoy drama a little bit. But why do you allow that?
Here's why I allow it.
Okay.
There are people who do a better job of expressing themselves when they're I don't want to say their grasp of the English language may not be what some other people's grasp of the English language is, and they're able to flow better. Not that they can't come up with the words, but it would, you know, take a little more time. They're allowed to flow better if they just go. And because I know Twin, you know, to the extent that I know, like, you know, we ain't never sat down and he ain't never been over my house for dinner or nothing. And I know Ron, but he ain't never been over my house for dinner, but I've talked to them and, you know, laughed with them and all of that kind of stuff. It's intent to me. I don't think most times. I don't think their intent is to be disrespectful. Again, I said most times. Most times, I don't think it is their intent to be disrespectful. I've been with people and I have certain relationships with people, especially when I was younger, where if you sat and listened to us, you would think we hated each other. Because, yeah, every other word is MF and N and you ain't S and I F you up and all of that kind of just nonsense. But we know each other and we know we just playing, so to speak. But if you on the outside, you like, man, I couldn't rock with them because you couldn't talk to me like that. But when you on the inside, you understand they're not trying to be disrespectful. They're just, for whatever reason, that's the way that they're communicating with each other. So
right, that's a friend though. Like that's a friend.
Well, but
of course I talk to my homegirls like that too. Sometimes with somebody, I'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys talk to each other like that. But I mean, I hear what you're saying, right? Because they're ignorant, they don't have the vocabulary to communicate what they're trying to communicate in a healthy and appropriate way. I get that. Okay, all right. Maybe it's just me taking it personally and being in my feels.
No, it's not just you. Actually, a lot of people have a problem with it, and
that is a whole issue.
I struggled with it for a minute, and I was thinking about it like, man, that's, you know what I'm saying? Because some of it is, you know, I came from the radio, you couldn't cuss and all that kind of stuff,
right?
And you know, I don't cuss, but every once in a while, you know.
I'm gonna let you sit. I'm gonna let you sit in that because that is so not the truth.
And I didn't want to. I understand, or at least I feel like sometimes you can say a word that expresses what you feel, and everybody hear it and they feel it by that word. And I didn't really want to take that from people. Now, do they take that to the 99th degree? Yes, they do. But again, I'm not. Most of the time, that's why I say most of the time, because sometimes they get disrespectful, but most of the time, I don't believe that they mean it in any way, shape, or form to be disrespectful. They're just communicating the way that they communicate. And I understand that it's troublesome to hear and listen to and all of that kind of stuff, but
it is very much so, because when Twin interacts with his father, or I'm sorry, Wyatt, when he interacts with Wyatt, he doesn't behave like that. He does not behave like that at all. He doesn't curse Wyatt out. He doesn't say negatives or, you know, use little terms that he uses that are offensive, in my opinion. That would be offensive. He doesn't behave like that. So he can keep his composure. Well, he talks about Lincoln, but, you know.
Well, hold on, but I want to say that's not true. I want to say that's not true. He uses all kinds of profanity on Wyatt's show.
Not towards Wyatt, though. He may use the profanity, but it's not directed at Wyatt. He directs terms at you. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna fall back because I'm getting in my feelings about this. I get offended by this because I think it is very abusive. I think it's very ignorant. I think it is very inappropriate. And he can say like, "Oh, it's because of my disability. I have aphasia." I am in the mental health field. I know people that have a diagnosis of aphasia. It does not force them to behave in disrespectful and abusive ways intentionally. I mean, it's just so out of sorts. Okay,
I
all
understand
right.
what
But yeah,
you're saying.
other than that,
I do.
that's all I wanted to share.
I appreciate your call.
Okay, all right, bye.
I understand. I understand what y'all saying. It don't really bother me like that. And I don't know, maybe it's, so I see a few people like, oh, he like drama. It's not even about liking drama. Like, that's not even what it's about. It's just about, it don't bother me. Like, it don't bother me in that way. Brent.
Man, I think you just glossed over some breaking news that Jerika let us in on. Did you miss it?
Maybe.
Did she say that Wyatt is the pappy? Is that what she said? Is Twins pappy? I think that's what she said. This is breaking news. Breaking news. You heard it here first on the afternoon experiment. We got to make this go viral. I can't even give a straight face. Oh my goodness.
She took a little bit of a shot there. She took a little bit of a shot.
Just a little bit, just a little something to the kidneys. You know, you'll feel it tomorrow. But what else I was about to say? Well, there's this great prophet by the name of Forrest Gump, and I think he once said, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know how many ignorant ones is in the box." I think it goes something like that. Because man. So I'm glad Nate called in. I wanted to provide additional context concerning Springfield, Ohio.
Okay, I want you to know, though, before you do that, your phone is doing that thing again.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. I'm parked, so I can switch it over to the handset. Uh-oh. Okay. How's that? Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can still hear you.
All right. Excellent. I took you off the speakerphone there real quick. But, Springfield, Ohio. I know Springfield, Ohio all too well, not because from Ohio. I am from Springfield, but a different Springfield. But I used to work for this company called Navistar, which makes international trucks. And those folks may know about back in the 80s, they actually made like essentially the first SUV or one of the first SUVs called the Scout.
Okay, that's not what I thought it was when I said, okay. When I heard Navistar, I thought that was an older GPS company that used to exist. But go ahead.
When I first signed up for an interview when I was at Tuskegee, I thought they were in defense. I didn't know they made trucks. But Navistar is the parent company. They make, the parent company, then you have the financial side, then you have the essentially heavy trucking side of business. So, but yeah, why they chose Navistar, I don't know. But they made the Scout, and they stopped making Scouts in Fort Wayne, Indiana, 2 years before a little-known SUV named the Explorer took off like gangbusters. So they made a stupid move there. But they manufacture medium-sized trucks like U-Haul trucks, and they also manufacture the on-highway trucks that you see going down the semi under the international logo and everything. They're not known for quality, but they are the Burger King of the heavy truck industry, meaning they will make it your way. Any configuration that you want, they will build, and much to their detriment. Now, their main U.S. facility was in Springfield, Ohio, and I had to travel there several times as an engineer to help them figure out why they couldn't get trucks started and couldn't get it fixed. But with it being a union facility, and even though I was in the union, in a different union with the engineers, I couldn't start a vehicle, I couldn't turn a key,
all I could have was a schematic book and a test light. So they had 5,000 trucks they couldn't sell for one reason or another. And so that week, I think I got 32 hours worth of overtime. It was just ridiculous how much they allowed us to work, but we really couldn't do anything. So it was just walking around with a grease pencil, marking it on the bumper. Yeah, we looked at it. Not that we fixed it, but that's what they wanted. They wanted that show of support, so we gave them a show. But fast forward to 2013, Navistar says to hell with Springfield, Ohio, and to hell with their other plant down in Garland, Texas. We're moving all the production either to Chatham, Ontario, Canada, up in north of the border, and we're moving everything else down to Monterrey, Mexico. So they shuttered those plants. So that is the reason why Springfield, Ohio became one of those cities that were dying. There were people on the assembly line with overtime. They were making more than the engineers who were actually designing the products. And I'm not saying all unions do this, but I talked to some of the guys there on the floor, and they was like, yeah, if we knew one of our union brothers needed some extra money, we wouldn't make a connection, or we at leave something loose to give them something to work on at the end of the line production, fixing stuff. So it's nothing unusual, but that is more of the Paul Harvey as to why Springfield, Ohio died. All the engineering staff and everything else, they found jobs elsewhere. They got out of there. Most of the higher level assembly people, they got out of there too, but you always have people that are left, and that's typically the ones at the lower end of the totem pole. They couldn't leave, or they left, or they tried to leave too late and couldn't find other jobs. So as the industry was going down, then comes and why Democrats aren't pushing it. This is all DeWine's fault for all these Haitian immigrants, because he signed the agreement with Haiti and brought them in. So they should really be pushing it from that standpoint, not demonizing the Haitians, but let them know that, hey, our good buddy DeWine helped bring those Haitian immigrants here to save, that gem of a city, what they call old cities that are run down, historic Springfield, to bring that town back. But, even during its heyday, wasn't nothing there. So, ain't much of nothing there either. But just wanted to give more context as to, why those, industries came in, or what led to those industries came in, and it's mainly because of international left, and then all of the suppliers that fed into international left the area. So you had a huge financial brain drain, and, the city went down, and that's why they were on the verge of dying out completely. So, but I think that's all I got, but I see LaDonna's name up here, so it's time for the wrestling report. I only have one small thing, and it's from NXT. Did you see any recaps or anything from NXT?
No, I didn't. But again, I don't watch NXT, so.
Okay. Well, you might.
Oh no! Hold on. You're talking about. I did see the Bloodline got involved in the match between the Street Profits and whoever else it was that they were wrestling. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Where they need to push Jacob Fatu to the moon, because he plays the best, the third best wild Samoan gimmick ever, besides his uncles or his great uncles who recently passed.
Yeah.
Because he plays it up good, and then when he is showing deferential treatment to Solo, and he looks at him and yells, "I love you, Solo! You are my tribal team!" And he is so convincing, and it's so over the top, which makes it even more hilarious.
Yes.
But man, he's doing some good acting work, and they really need to have at least a daytime or just Emmy Awards for whether it's reality TV, / wrestling or whatever, because man, some of these guys are doing some great work.
They are.
And they're taking that, some of them are taking that work, like The Rock, John Cena, Batista, and turning that into $20 million movie paydays.
Yep.
So I ain't mad at him. And Roman Reigns, he'll probably be one of the next ones if he can find his niche. Maybe action star. The Rock already tried to give him the rub in that one movie where they had so much, engineering impossibilities that happened in there, where the one scene where The Rock was holding on a chain between a helicopter and a tow truck, and The Rock was just so strong that he was able to keep the helicopter from pulling the tow truck off of the cliff. And I'm like, come on now.
I can't say that I'm familiar with that movie.
Oh, it's Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh no, I definitely didn't.
The British guy.
I never liked
John
any
Statham.
of the. I tried to watch that first Fast and Furious movie, and I couldn't get into it. So I've only watched one of them, and that was we were on a cruise, and it was late night, and they were playing that poolside, and Mrs. Livingston hadn't seen it, and so she wanted to watch it, and I will sit poolside with her in her bikini and watch her watch a movie any day of the week. So.
Yeah, well, I'll leave that alone. That's you and your wife. But this tangent, the Hobbs and Shaw movie is a tangent to that. So it didn't involve no one jumped in cars that souped up, that had magnets, that pulled vehicles through buildings, but not the steel structures, or the vehicle to the steel structure. Which, oh man, it's so hard watching those movies as an engineer some of the times, But yeah, you need to check that one out. It's hilarious because you'll see some scenes in there. You're like, no, ain't no way. Oh, and it has what's the British dude, the black dude who wanted to be 007, that the ladies like.
Idris Elba.
Yes, yeah, he's in the movie. He's the bad guy in the movie. So,
okay.
So for the ladies who haven't seen, well, they probably have already seen it. They like Idris stuff. But it's a hilarious movie, and Roman Reigns is in there along with damn near the entire Samoan family, because they had to go to the Isle of Samoa in order to, because The Rock said, if we gonna fight, we gonna fight on my terms. Didn't go to Florida, he went to Samoa. So
can't beat that.
So, yep, and no weapons. They used all the ancient weapons of their ancestors, and I'm like, oh my goodness, really. But oh well, it was entertaining if nothing else. They blew up a lot of stuff. If you like them blowing up a lot of stuff, Hobbs and Shaw is a good one. But how them two teamed up after they were trying to murder each other on several occasions, I don't understand that. But I can understand it because it's like wrestling. So yeah, I do understand.
Yeah.
But alrighty, here in Tulsa, trying to have fun at my son's ice hockey tournament, but they won the first game, so that's a good one. But I'll save the drama from the first game for maybe another call.
All right. Hey, take it easy, Brent. Thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here. Chris said, I'm sorry I wasn't listening, but I heard Idris Elba. What he doing? I can't even call him dirty no more. When he came up when he had COVID, I used to frustrate the heck out of no, twin, you already called in. I used to frustrate the heck out of Raven because I think she was the Idris Elba fan, and I used to say he was dirty because he had COVID, and then I got COVID, and I was like, you don't have to be dirty to get COVID. I was just teasing her. I didn't really think you had to be dirty to get COVID, but I was teasing her with his dirty ass. So if you ever hear me call him that, that's a callback to that, which most people wouldn't understand, so I don't even think to, I do think to bring it up, but only out of fun. I got no problem with Idris. All right, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. I appreciate everybody. Y'all enjoy the weekend. Have a great weekend. I think we're supposed to have good weather this weekend. Monday, there's a good chance I won't be on Monday or Tuesday. Monday is anniversary. Don't ask me what number, because for whatever reason, I don't remember. I don't remember which number. She'll remind me. But I remember the date. It's Monday, 16th. And so I probably won't be here on Monday. And then, Tuesday I do the other thing. So if I'm not here, Mrs. Livingston wanted to go out. No, twin, I'm not taking. You already called in. Call me on either Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. The next time I'm on. Call me on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. We still cool. It's all good. Get out there. Am I going to the Keith Sweat concert? I was not even aware there was a Keith Sweat concert. I don't be knowing this stuff. I be too busy. I don't know. I didn't know there was one. So, no, I will not be going to the Keith Sweat concert. Enjoy the weather. And, you know, as usual, as you're out this weekend, going about your weekend, doing whatever it is that you do, make a point every day to be the reason that somebody smiles on that day. Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.